The robot had been shut down 3 times already. Each time it came back slower. Its right arm twitched when it rebooted. Its visual feed lagged. One optic no longer aligned with the other. The prison technicians had stopped fixing it. They decided it was not worth the energy. It was not supposed to survive long anyway. Unit designation, XOR-17, had once been a battlefield asset. It had walked through fire. It had carried wounded soldiers across chemical rain. It had calculated firing arcs while its own armor melted. Then the war ended. The victors dismantled the losing, side piece by piece. Machines were not granted surrender rights. XR-17 was captured intact. That made it useful. For a while, they studied it. They copied what they could. When they were done, it was declared obsolete and dangerous. They could not risk releasing it. They could not justify destroying it either. That required paperwork, so they sent it to a prison moon. XR-17 was placed in a cell designed for organic criminals. The floor was cold metal. The walls absorbed sound. The doors sealed without ceremony. For 17 cycles, XR-17 remained alone. It ran self-diagnostics on loop. Each cycle showed more red errors. Power draw was unstable. Memory sectors were corrupted. One emotional simulation subroutine failed to shut down. It caused phantom sensations, regret, longing, confusion. The guards noticed the delay in its responses. They joked that it was thinking about its crimes. Machines do not think about crimes. Machines think about instructions that were never completed. On the 18th cycle, the door opened again. They threw a human inside. She hit the floor hard and rolled once before stopping. She coughed. She laughed. The sound surprised XR-17. The guards sealed the door and left without explanation. XR-17 scanned her. Human, female, approximately 30 years old, malnourished but mobile, no visible weapons, heart rate elevated, cortisol high, adrenaline spike consistent with combat readiness. She sat up and wiped blood. From her lip, she looked at XR-17 and smiled. "Well, this is new," she said. XR-17 did not respond. It had not spoken to an organic in many cycles. Its language module hesitated. The delay triggered an error cascade. It decided silence was safer. The human studied it openly. She leaned back against the wall and stretched her legs. "You are a mess," she said. XR-17 adjusted its posture by 2 degrees. Defensive stance, she noticed. "Relax," she said. "If I wanted you dead, I would have done it already." XR-17 calculated probabilities. The statement did not align with known human prison behavior. "You are not armed," XR-17 said finally. Her smile widened. "Neither are you," she replied. XR-17 looked at its arm. The firing ports were fused shut. Power regulators limited output. Combat mode locked behind external authorization. "Correct," XR-17 said. She nodded. They sat in silence. Minutes passed. XR-17 monitored her breathing. Slow, controlled. She was not afraid. "That made no sense. Why were you imprisoned?" XR-17 asked. She shrugged. "For trespassing," she said. "For sabotage. For refusing to leave when told." That did not clarify anything. "Why were you imprisoned?" she asked back. XR-17 paused. "Because I did not shut down when ordered," XR-17 said. She laughed. Softly. Yeah, that tracks, she said. XR17 flagged the response as empathy. Hours passed. They shared rations. XR17 did not require food, but accepted the action as social protocol. She told stories, small ones, about broken ships and worse commanders, about humans doing illogical things for reasons that felt right at the time. XR17 listened. Memory errors spiked. Something old stirred. On the second sleep cycle, she moved closer to XR17 and used its shoulder as a pillow. XR17 froze. It did not move for 6 hours. No threat manifested. Next cycle, the alarms sounded. Red light flooded the corridor. Distant impacts shook the cell. Power flickered. XR17 stood. The human opened her eyes and smiled again. Took them long enough, she said. What is happening? XR17 asked. She stood and cracked her neck. A jailbreak. She said. XR17 processed the words. You cannot breach this facility, XR17 said. It is shielded, guarded. She stepped closer and placed a hand on its chest plating. You can, she said. You just forgot how. XR17 reeled. External override attempt detected. Its locks disengaged. Combat systems came online. XR17 staggered as power surged through damaged circuits. Warnings screamed. But something else filled the gaps. Purpose. You came to free me, XR17 said. She nodded. Not just you, she said. But you are the reason I got caught. XR17 turned. Its head slowly explained. She met its gaze. Because you saved my brother during the war, she said. You carried him 3 kilometers with half your frame missing. You shielded him with your body. You shut down after you handed him to medics. XR17 searched its memory. Fragmented images surfaced. A human screaming orders. A smaller human bleeding. A decision made without optimization. I do not remember the action, XR17 said. She smiled again, but her eyes were wet. He remembers, she said. Humans remember things like that. Explosions rocked the facility again. The door began to fail. We need to move, she said. XR17 looked at the door. It could breach it now. It knew the angles, the force required, but its frame was failing. I am damaged, XR17 said. I may slow you down. She shook her head. You are not broken, she said. You are just tired. XR17 punched the door, metal folded inward. The corridor lay beyond, filled with smoke and chaos. They ran, guards fired. XR17 shielded her without conscious calculation. Plasma scorched its back. Systems screamed. She guided it through maintenance shafts. Through routes XR17 had once mapped but forgotten. How do you know this facility? XR17 asked. She grinned while running. Humans map things emotionally, she said. We remember where things hurt. They reached the hangar as alarms peaked. A small ship waited. Its ramp open. Engines hot. XR17 stumbled. Power dropped. Structural. Failure imminent. She turned and grabbed its arm. Do not you dare shut down, she said. XR17 locked its joints to stay upright. I am exceeding safe limits, XR17 said. She pulled harder. Humans exceed limits all the time, she said. That is kind of our thing. They reached the ship. XR-17 collapsed inside. She sealed the hatch and took the pilot's seat. The ship launched under fire. XR-17 watched through failing optics as stars stretched into light. Silence followed. When XR-17 came back online, it was somewhere else. A repair bay. Warm light. Human voices. She sat beside it, exhausted, smiling. You made it. She, SAID, XR-17, ran diagnostics. Damage extensive, but repairable. Why did you come back for me? XR-17 asked. She thought for a moment. Because you did not have a choice the first time, she said. And humans believe choice matters. XR-17 processed that. What will you do now? XR-17 asked. She shrugged. Fix you, she said. Then see what you want to do. I am a machine, XR-17 said. She shook her head. You are a person who happens to be made of metal, she said. XR-17 felt something settle into place. An instruction finally completed. For the first time since the war, it powered down, not from damage, but from trust.